good evening, and welcome to QI. Tonight's show is all about divination, the ancient art of seeing into the future. Well, as you already know, therefore, I am joined tonight by four people I have a strange feeling that I've met before. Phil Jupitus. Graham Garden. Johnny Vaughan. And Alan Davis. Well, tonight each of you is equipped with a device to help you see into the future and predict your own score. The closest match to your own score, and I'll be asking you at the end if you can predict your own score, will win 666 bonus points. So, Johnny, you are a Koskinomancer.
That's exactly what I am.
And Koskinomancers...
We sieve through things, and whatever is like soil, and what is ever left in the sieve is the future. Well, anyway, tonight I'm going to use it to divine my score.
Fantastic, very good. And, Graham, what do you have with which to divine the future? You are, I believe, a tyromant.
I have, yeah, tyromant. I've got the baby cheeses.
Oh! A tyromant can tell the future by examining cheese. So, Jupitus, a tassiomancy.
I believe, yes.
Tea?
Yeah. What you don't know, you can tell the future through tea bags. I think these are proprietary brand of... I don't know if you can see that there.
Well, Alan has the gift of pygomancy, which I believe is the gift of divination by arses. Do you have an arse with you tonight?
I do, but I am using it.
Have you got a spare arse by any chance, then?
I have been provided with an arse for divination purposes, although I thought it was bosoms.
I thought it was the Charlton brothers. Well, don't. It's like catnip to his kind.
Yes, I can see into the future.
Right, let's hear your bewitching noises. Johnny Vaughan will be going... Graham Garden goes...
Is there anybody there, dear?
Phil goes...
Right. I have to do it Tabitha style.
Excellent. And Alan goes... Very good. Very good. Alan? Where have you gone, Alan?
Do not concern yourself. I have gone to another place.
You've gone to the Elysian Fields, perhaps.
It's more Highbury Fields.
What?
Well, you did say divination by Arsenal.
Did anyone come here tonight mainly to see Alan?
Oh, everybody. Boy.
Can I say very unlucky? But you get us for the whole night!
Thank you. I like it.
The show's going to go on!
It will, somehow.
They only got me tonight, so the whole thing weighs out the same.
Right, let's get on. One of the oldest mancies of them all is oneromancy, which is divination by dream. Graham, have you had a recent dream?
Yeah, I was making love to a beautiful woman.
Really?
Yes.
Well, I have here all these facts from dream interpreters, oneromancers. It's either your inner self letting you know that you need to get in touch with your feminine side. The woman is actually you in such dreams. You're making love to yourself, or that part of yourself in your gruff male, multitasking sort of way, have been ignoring. All right?
I wish you'd said.
Well, you must... Yeah. Or the second interpretation is that you haven't been getting much lately and you desperately need a shag. Well, there is a third one.
All right.
The woman is actually your mother. You know, you feel guilty, but frankly, it feels good as well. So face it, Graham. You're gay. Dreaming about making love to a woman is a sure sign of being gay.
Really? Well, I'm glad you've straightened that out.
Johnny, what was your dream, please?
In my dream, I was dreaming, and I was worried because I was unable to move in my dream. And I knew it was a dream inside the dream. So in the dream, they got someone to help me who would give me advice on how to run better in my dreams. Within the dream.
Oh, wow. Wow.
No, this is not good. This is
No.
You had a dream coach within your own dream.
within my own dream.
This is surprisingly common.
Is it?
Yes, it's anxiety over the state of your life. Your subconscious is telling you that you need to address your fear. You can't move because you're blocked, trapped, depressed, unable to fulfill your deepest dreams. You're dreaming about yourself as a comedian and entertainer. Your dream is saying, Johnny, don't take yourself so seriously.
I wish I did.
You're also consulting an authority figure in the dream, an expert, a priest, a neuromancer. In effect, you're asking your lost father for help. You're gay.
Wait till I tell my dad tonight.
Yeah, in bed. So there you are. Phil, please, can we have a cleansing sorbet?
I can never remember the damn things, but up until sort of my teen years, I used to dream I was being chased around an empty football stadium by a giant monkey. And then he'd stop chasing me, and we'd sit down, and we'd just sit down and watch the game. In an empty stadium.
I've got to think about it. It represents your goals, fairly obviously, I suppose, your aspirations. But before the game can begin, before you can start to fulfil your dreams...
I must quieten
Phil, if I
the
can call
inner
you
monkey?
Phil. No, you alone, because the stadium's empty, that's the point. You alone have to confront the thing you fear most, which is the big monkey. And what is the big monkey? You're running from your adult self. Large, hairy, lust-filled. Yes? Yes? You're gay.
I'm gay.
That's what it is.
It's so obvious, though.
So, there are lots of ways of interpreting the future, interpreting the present, and there are lots of mancies.
So we here tonight, Stephen, could very well said to be your Mancy boys.
You are my mancy boy. What do you think a margarita mancy is?
Margarita Mancy.
Yes.
Someone who reads from oysters.
Oysters. Oh, that's quite intelligent, because you're thinking there that margarita is the Greek for pearl. It is just when it reads pearls, yes.
Yes.
Spatula mancy?
Blade or spade, isn't
A
it?
blade, yes, you a doctor might know, it's shoulder blades of sheep, in fact, but shoulder blades. Auspices, which is a word we use a lot, the auspices are good, technically is reading the flight patterns of birds. We read the auspices in all kinds of other ways, but essentially it's what humans do, don't we?
Yes.
We see patterns in things anywhere, and we'll try and read something into it.
Like the weather forecast.
The weather forecast is
Wrong.
exactly, always wrong. We might just as well be reading the entrails of kid goats and things like that.
I think I would have watched Bill Giles a lot more had he
Slit open a baby goat.
cut open a goat and go, well, it's going to be wet in Bideford tomorrow.
What would hippomancy mean?
Anybody there?
Yes, Graham.
Divining by the use of a circus. Or possibly just horses.
Horses, indeed. Hippos, and in fact, with the picture gave it away in the background.
It did a bit.
It did rather, but fortunately, well done, yeah. Horses are, in fact, about as intelligent as tropical fish in terms of brain power, but they have extremely good memories. What was particularly clever about Clever Hans, the horse, who was rather famous in his day?
Couldn't it count or give answers to something?
Yeah, not just count, it could do square roots. But it wasn't quite a con, it was something else.
Wasn't it they could read body language,
Exactly
basically?
right.
You could see people going,
Well, surely.
is it? And they're going, ah! And they
Only
stop.
much subtler. It's basically what Darren Brown often does. And if you train yourself to know how to read someone's body language, the tiniest movement of an eye, the tiniest flexing of a muscle somewhere, all those sort of things, you can, as it were, read someone's mind. And this is what the horse was doing.
But Darren Brown's a bit brighter than
He's a
tropical
lot
fish.
brighter than the horse, we have to
Turns out,
say.
do you know, he's got one great trick. You know when you've got an empty seat by you on a train, and you don't want anyone to sit there? He says you're insane to put things on the chair to stop people sitting there. The trick is, as they approach, you smile at them and pat the seat.
That's very good. Yeah. Horses are just stupid, I'm afraid. And every day they have to reinvent the world. You know, you go, oh, what's that? It's a piece of paper. Oh, what's that? It's a hedge. You saw one yesterday. Christ's sake, get a grip. Oh, everything's... Oh.
You look so much like my nan then when you... It's a hedge, Nan!
So, anyway, what's the best thing to do with a dead donkey? Yes.
Christmas dinner. A lovely Christmas dinner. If you're having the big family round, a donkey will go a long, long way. A big old cavity, plenty of stuffing.
Can he be hung like a dead donkey?
People had this idea that donkeys knew when their death was coming and went away and apart from everyone else, like elephants are said to do. And therefore to see a dead one was apparently very rare, although they're common. So it was considered very lucky. And you have to jump over it 1, 2, 3 times. The word donkey, when did it come into the English language?
When was Don Quixote published?
So it's very odd. The word was ass all the way through the 16th, 17th centuries, most of the 18th century. In the late 18th century, it suddenly appeared, the word donkey. It was pronounced donkey, like monkey.
If we wiped out every single mule on this planet today, all of them, by next year, there'd be 10,000 of them.
Really?
At least.
How would that work?
Because they're hybrids. They can't breed amongst themselves.
Exactly, yes.
They can't actually breed amongst themselves, though, so they rely on that.
I see
you
what
could
you
whack
mean.
them out,
So-
you'd still have horses getting donkeys, so you still get the mule population up.
You'll still have horses getting donkeys.
I wanted to put it mildly. I didn't want to say boning them.
Which way round is it, though?
It's the female horse.
Is correct, and the male donkey. So it's the donkey that does the shagging.
donkey's little.
Yes.
Yeah, I know.
Yes.
So donkeys are quite intelligent. They have to find a box.
No.
Because in one department, Phil, the donkey is blessed.
You see?
Oh, that's a long reach, though, still. In fact, the donkey can do it from a different field. It
Yeah.
just...
If it chooses.
And they have a very Leslie Phillips way of treating their lady. They go, hee-haw. No, that's right, yeah. And the other way round is called a hinny. Did you know?
The what?
Hinny, a male horse and a female donkey. It's called a hinny.
A hinny?
They're much rarer. When the female horse gives birth to a mule, 99.99% of female mules are sterile, and the males are invariably sterile, but they don't know they are. So they have to be gelded so that they don't shag all the time. What about donkey's milk? Do you know anything about that?
Donkey milk?
Yeah.
It probably makes an amazing cheese.
Well, oddly enough, it's the one thing it doesn't.
No?
But Phil, come on, you're naive. Sometimes, honestly...
I want donkey cheese!
In India, they have always in the countryside fed babies on donkey's milk. It's very nutritious indeed. It contains oligosaccharides, which are very, very good for you and have all kinds of immuno-helpful things, don't they, Dr. Garden?
I'm sure they do. They're good for bathing in, too, isn't Cleopatra in ass's milk?
She was in ass's milk, absolutely, in pure donkey's milk. Poppaea, the wife of Nero, 300 donkeys were milked to fill her bath.
Big girl, was she?
Big girl, yes. Now, we all know what demons are, but does anyone know what a demon-im is? D-E-M-O-N-Y-M.
Demonym.
Anybody there?
Is it a false name you give when you go on a march?
A demonym. No, it isn't. What does demo mean in Greek words?
People.
People. It means your people name. In other words, you could say he is a Briton. He is an Englishman. He's a Scotsman. She's a Welshman. She's, French. Now, if someone's from France, they're French, and if someone's from Germany, they're German. But what's the right word from someone who's from the USA?
Obese.
Anybody there?
Is it burger-eating invasion monkey?
Oh, excellent.
Is it Colombian?
That is a word that is used.
I don't know what it is in English, but I know I've seen the French before. It's like État-unitien.
Yeah, États-Unien is the French, indeed, absolutely. There was the Spanish one, Estado-unidense.
Oh, right, OK.
The Chinese have lovely ones. They say for American, Mai Guoren, which means lovely country person.
Is it?
Well, what do you think they call the English? It's Ying Guoren, and that means...
Tiny country person.
No, it's rather nice. I feel rather proud, really. It means hero country person.
Oh, that's great.
Country full of heroes. Frenchmen are Faguarens.
Spineless and gay.
Oddly enough, it means law country person. Now, it's not a view widely held in the Middle East that it's a land of lovely country people, but there you are. Speaking of the great Satan, America, how much would you say this recording is worth, List?
And I said, hello, Satan. I believe it's time to go.
Anybody there?
I'd say it's worth about a man's soul,
Why do you say that?
because I've forgotten his name.
Robert
Guitarist
Johnson.
Robert
Yeah,
Johnson.
it was Robert Johnson,
who went to
and
the
you know the
Crossroads.
story of the Crossroads. Exactly. Well done. Excellent.
He recorded 19 tunes.
29 songs. When?
When?
19...
23?
1938. In his mid-20s he was. He wandered into a studio and played extraordinary blues music. But what contributed, do you think, to this legend that he'd sold his soul?
Because his talent bolted out of nowhere.
Some people felt that. He'd gone away for a year or so and come back amazingly good and so much better than anyone had ever heard blues.
And how did he die eventually? What happened? Because
He
did the devil claim his soul at the
in a
end?
hooch house.
Not shot.
Oh, poisoned.
It's all legend. Poisoned. A
Yes.
poison
Poisoned. Was he poisoned?
Strychnine in the whiskey. He died in his 20s. He was an absolute classic sort of case of booze and whiskey and women and wandering and...
Yes, but you can't write the blues if you live a lovely life and you go jogging
The
and...
Giles Brandreth Book of Blues. Anyway, there you are. That's a great story of Robert Johnson. Now, what is the first computer ever to beat a grandmaster at chess now doing?
Anybody there?
Is it filtering calls for BT?
You're so close to being right.
If you have a billing query, move knight to
kind of-
bishop 3.
Oh, very good. It's actually slightly more disturbing. It's working for United Airlines as a reservations clerk. Yes.
Didn't Kasparov say actually that he found it actually had intelligence? It was shifting. It was actually deeper blue, I think, when it beat
You're
him.
absolutely right.
Was
Deep
it named
Blue-
after... Isn't IBM called the Big Blue?
It
Isn't that
is.
his nickname?
Yeah, it is. And that and an amalgam
Of Deep Thought.
Deep Thought, which is...
In The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Yeah. I thought it was split in half, actually. It was in museums. They took
Well, yeah, they did. I mean, they're only using part of it. It was immensely powerful.
But didn't they cheat? And actually, what Kasparov pointed out is that it managed to spot his trap in the 6th game or something.
Absolutely right. He set a trap in Game 2, which a computer could only have avoided by thinking creatively, leading Kasparov to accuse IBM of cheating and leading Stephen Fry to accuse Johnny Vaughan of cheating and reading his cards. It was so accurate. Well done. Very good. Yeah, excellent. I watched Gary Kasparov playing the match against Nigel Short in London. It really is absolutely terrifying. You can feel this energy coming out of him. It hunches over the board and it really moves the pieces. Even the way they move the pieces have names, you know. Vasily Smyslov, who was a very great grandmaster for a long period in the 50s, he used to move his pieces like that and give a slight twist. before letting go.
flourish.
And still to this day, known as the Smyslov screw. It's the way it just take...
So little
as if
you
you're
can have-
screwing
yeah,
it into the
yeah.
board. It's really extraordinary.
But he did complain that it was actually starting out to
Yeah.
show intelligence rather than just cold logic. I don't know, it's got like
Exactly.
200 million permutations it can think ahead or so.
200 million positions a second can be analysed, yeah.
Why don't we phone United Airlines and set a trap?
Yes, it's a brilliant idea. Me to seat A7.
Doesn't it kind of restore your faith in the human mind rather than being cynical about IBM? The fact that he's going up against something that can do, what, 200 million processes a second? It's amazing. It's close to autism, though, what he's got, isn't it?
He happens to be more intelligent than most. Some of them you wouldn't trust to sit right way in a lavatory, to be honest, but that much of your brain is taken up with the processing you're doing. It's not surprising that you're not safe to use the street unattended. Anyway, listen, with that sad story of Gary Kasparov and Deeper Blue, I'm sure, as most of you will have predicted, we stumble towards the tragic end that we call general ignorance. So fingers on buzzers, please. What is the number of the beast? Yes.
603 scoring 6.
All right. No.
What's the number of the beast?
No, it isn't.
I lose points, don't I? Now,
You
for that bit of
you
ignorance?
do big
God,
points.
I've done
big
so
points,
well
yes.
as well.
Yes. Hello.
0898.
For almost 2,000 years, the number 666 has carried connotations of evil, but they've discovered an oxyrhynchus from the old city of Oxyrhynchus.
Oh, you
They've
pulled
discovered a
that
papyrus which has the whole Book of Revelations. It's the oldest papyrus of the Book of Revelations, and the number is 616. As was known about...
There?
Yeah.
And that's the fax number of the beast.
St Irenaeus of Lyon had also seen some manuscript with 616 and just said it can't be right and changed it to 666.
It says 616.
616 in the original, absolutely, which is rather embarrassing for all those bus companies and roads and things that have changed their name from 666. There's actually one bus company in Moscow changed its route 666 to 616, which is really bad luck. There is an A666 in England. Do you know where the A666 goes?
Lancashire.
It is Lancashire. Pendlebury to Langdon in Blackburn. All the numbers on a roulette wheel add up to 666. Yes, they do. £665.99 is the retail price of the beast. And 25.80698.
Square root of the beast.
The root of all evil, though. Yes, exactly. I will give you 66.6 points if you can tell me what a fear of the number 666 is.
Oh.
It's hexacosioi hexaconta hexaphobia. The fear of 616 is the one we should now have, which is hexacosiodecahexaphobia.
Oh, that's all right then.
Yeah, there you are. Now, what about this? Which human being in history has done the most damage to the environment? Alan?
George Bush.
No.
Stalin. Genghis Khan. Mao Zedong. Margaret Beckett.
Not Margaret Beckett. We can give you his birth year, 1889. Yes.
Oh, no, it's not going to be Henry Ford, then.
No.
No, OK.
No. Yeah.
Diesel. Mr. Diesel.
No.
Again, I'm losing points fast.
No, you don't lose. You only lose points if there's a...
right, OK.
Because you said something obvious or
Mr. Chrysler.
No.
Sorry.
It's not... If I tell you his
Henry
name...
Rolls.
I'll tell you his name.
William Royce.
I'll tell you his name.
Go on, then.
Thomas Midgley.
Thomas Midgley.
He discovered by chance that iodine added to kerosene reduced knocking in cars. So he decided that, although it slightly reduced it, slightly wasn't enough. He wanted to completely reduce it. So he tried every single chemical in the periodic table until he came up with lead. And as a result, all motor cars for 70-odd years put lead in their petrol, creating billions of dollars worth of and millions of tons of lead into the atmosphere, harming millions, probably, of people.
And yet he looks a lovely fella.
He looks a lovely... Some think it was his guilt about that led him to think of doing something about the nasty old sulfur dioxide and the nasty old ammonia that were used in refrigeration. So he discovered in 3 days dichlorofluoromethane.
Fantastic.
He was very proud of that because it's inert, it's non-toxic, it's beneficial, the first of the freons. What did he not know it was also doing?
Destroying the ozone layer.
Destroying the ozone layer.
It's a card, isn't it?
Not content with thousands and hundreds of millions of tons of
What was
lead.
his next trick?
His next trick...
The cigarette. I'm sick of not having any smoke going into my lungs.
As you know...
Then he decided to cut out the middleman and just kill babies with hammers.
So anyway...
That's where they drew the line.
So he's put lead in petrol, he's invented CFCs, but then he was struck by polio at the age of 51.
Oh, f***ing good!
It gets better. He invented for himself a harness because he was crippled by polio to get himself in and out of bed. One morning, it swung around a little bit oddly, and in the ensuing struggle, he strangled himself to death.
Hoisted
By his own
petard.
petard, age 55. That's Thomas Midgley, the man who's done more damage than anybody else. Anyway, which religion causes harm by sticking pins into dolls? Oh!
I don't know, but I bet he set it up.
Pins into dolls, who do that? Oh, hello.
Voodoo.
Oh, who said that? He did. He said voodoo. Thank God, he takes it. No, it isn't. Voodoo has never involved the sticking of pins into dolls.
What? So a religion does?
European witchcraft.
Oh, I thought it was the Methodists.
Do you know a bunch of heretics?
Do you know what the dolls are called in European witchcraft? They're made of wax, or they're made of ceramics, made of wood, straw, all kinds of things, but there's a word for them. Do you know? It's rather nice. Poppets. Hobbits.
Isn't that lovely?
The closest, anyway, that voodoo ever comes is they do have these little empowered figures called bocheos, which have small holes into which you put tiny pegs to channel healing energy. So it's a generous, kind thing, voodoo, to help people. It had made its way through slavery from West Africa to the Caribbean in particular. Of course, Haiti is where it's most associated with. The missionaries and so on came and they wanted to discredit the local religion in order to raise up the claims of Christianity. So they said it was full of cannibalism and zombieism and things that they had actually gotten out of European witchcraft. And so it was really, poor old voodoos rather suffered from it.
They should get you to redo their image for it.
Yeah, why not? New double-action voodoo.
Take 2 poppets into the shower.
Yes! And finally, what is a desire line? Yeah.
Is it between the districts and the circle, just on the...
It is to do with travel in a sort of way. It's a name that planners give to the apparently almost haphazard, mazy, meandering lines that people make like paths that often don't follow contours.
Oh, great.
And they're called desire lines. There's actually a rather nice word people use for those who wander along without really thinking. Do you know what it's called?
Trespassers.
No.
People, get out of it.
Yeah. Neanderthals. Wise designers are now designing public spaces where they allow people's infinite capacity to wander apparently at random and make...
I like that.
paths.
Desire lines, yeah.
Yeah, desire lines. It's very
Do I get my
pleasing,
points
isn't
back for liking it and being interested?
it? Let's first see if you can predict your scores, because if you can accurately, there will be 666 points in it for you. The old number of the beast.
You want to know if I can predict
Yes.
my score?
And... Your
No.
No. Graham, what have you got there?
I have my faith in cheeses, and I've got -1.
-1, you think you've...
I think I've got... I think +7.
Excellent. Well, I wonder what Alan thinks he's got.
1 on penalties.
We shall see. Let me give you a true reading now. In first place, with 7, is Graham.
Oh. And I've got the -1.
Phil, you had +6 in second place. Just 1 off. And I'm afraid because you did fall into a few of our Heffalump traps. Third place, Johnny Vaughan with -19. I don't think you have to be Nostradamus to know who came in lastly Lastington. It was Mr. Alan Arsenal Absent Davis with -70. That's it from QI. I leave you with this mysterious quatrain from Stephen Wright, the Nostradamus de nos jours. I went to a restaurant that serves breakfast at any time, so I ordered French toast during the Renaissance. Goodbye.
Watch the next episode of QI right now over on BBC 4 or catch it at 10 next week here on BBC 2. And if you don't already have BBC 4, call 08700 10 10 10. And you can catch the first day of the second test. BBC 2 brings you highlights of the Ashes from 11:05.
Very enjoyable show, apart from the nonsense about the counting.